All right. What's up, my recovery family? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to the No BS Recovery channel. If you get a second, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, click that little bell that's right there so you can be notified every time that I release a new video. And if you get the chance, please share this video. I'd like to help as many people as humanly possible. It's part of my goal in life is to contribute in a positive way to as many lives as I possibly can. And so far, I think I've done a pretty good job. I opened a outpatient treatment center about 7 years ago. Well, coming up on 7 years ago. We've had hundreds of clients come through that center, and in one way, shape, or form, I've been able to have a positive impact on their life. If you don't know already, I'm an addict, I'm an alcoholic, I'm in recovery myself. My clean date / sober date, whatever you want to call it, date is November 1st, 2013. So I've been clean and sober for a little over 8 years now, and I did work through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, went on to sponsor well over 100 men through the 12 steps, and found that was my passion. My passion is helping other people in recovery. So you sharing this video allows me to continue what my passion is, allows me to reach more people and potentially help more people. And realistically, as long as one person gets something from this video, then I feel like I've done my job. And today I'd like to talk to you about anger. It's something that a lot of us have issues with. I know for sure I had major anger issues when I was in my active addiction and even in early recovery. Put plenty of holes in walls, got into plenty of fights. I just couldn't control my anger whatsoever. I had a very short fuse. It didn't take much to set me off, and then that was it. It was like you hear the expression like all I see is red or spots or whatever, and that's kind of what happened to me. Once I got to a certain point, there was no stopping me. Like I was going to come after you, even if you were bigger than me. There's been times where I got my ass kicked, and I've gotten into fights where. I had no business being in a fight with that individual because I got the living shit kicked out of me. But I couldn't control myself because my anger was out of control. And what I want you to understand from this video, first and foremost, is anger is a secondary emotion. It's not a primary emotion. It actually stems most of the time from pain. So what typically happens is someone hurts us in one way, shape, or form, and it angers us. Because anger is a lot easier to deal with than pain. So it's a lot easier for us to get angry and frustrated than to actually face the pain that has been bestowed upon us. So if you can understand that, that's a really good start, because it took me a long time to figure that out, that I'm not really angry, I'm just in pain. Because if someone goes and say disrespects you, right, they say something to you that hurts your feelings, right? That's what it is. Let's be real. I know it's not the manly thing to say or whatever, the tough guy thing to say, that I got my feelings hurt. But that's what happens is, something is said that hurts your feelings, and you get emotional about it, you get angry about it, and then you feel like you have to prove yourself and stand up for yourself. And so you get angry and you say something back, and hopefully it doesn't escalate into a full-blown physical altercation, but sometimes that's just what happens. So what I want to talk to you today about is how can we get our anger under control? How can we lengthen the fuse? That's typically how I put it to the clients and patients that I work with, is how can we lengthen your fuse to give you more time to understand in a more thorough way what's going on so that you can make the right decision. And part of that is practicing what I call, just being in the moment. Practicing being in, I can't think of the word that I'm trying to think of right now, but being in the present moment and understanding the current situation. So if anger is a secondary emotion and it comes from pain, first we got to figure out, where is the pain coming from? Why am I experiencing this pain? If we can identify that, then that's a really good start to lengthening the fuse. So if you get angry, the first thing I want you to do is pause, right? Don't act immediately. That's the worst thing that you can do, because usually first action wrong, right? And first thought wrong. And so if we can teach ourselves to pause before we get to that like ultimate anger state, then we're winning the battle already with anger management. Now, if you can pause long enough to actually take a step back from the situation and observe the situation as a third party, meaning removing yourself from the situation that you're currently in that is causing you this anger, and taking a different viewpoint from a third party perspective, as if you weren't in the altercation or you weren't in the actual situation, but you're witnessing it as someone else, and then you start to dissect it, then you're lengthening the fuse even more. So if someone does make you angry, take some time and take a step back and put yourself in a stranger's shoes. Now, if this wasn't happening to me, but I was actually witnessing this, what would my thoughts on the situation be? If you can do this, again, this lengthens the fuse. So the first thing we want to do is pause. The second thing we want to do is look at it with an outside perspective. You know, what is the situation actually looking like right now? And then do an honest self-evaluation. Oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me. I've said this before, I'll say it again. The drivers here in Arizona are bar none the worst drivers I've ever seen in my life. And I've driven through LA, I've driven through some, I've driven through the Bay, the city, and they just don't compare to Arizona. They're insane. But enough of that. That being said, our goal with anger management is to lengthen the fuse, to give yourself enough time to take an honest evaluation of the current situation. And if you can do that, typically what happens is you can come up with a better solution than raising your voice or raising your fists or acting in an inappropriate way. So we have to identify the pain. We have to step back and look at it from an outside perspective. And then we have to address the issue in the most healthy way possible. And the way that we do that is through communication, right? Proper, effective communication. What is proper, effective communication? Well, again, it might not sound that great to you, especially if you've been living a certain lifestyle, but it's okay to say, like, what you just said to me really hurt my feelings, and I don't appreciate that, and I would appreciate it if you never said anything like that to me again. It sounds like the cowardly thing to do, because that's not what we've been taught. That's not what we've taught ourselves. Especially, if you're used to living on the streets and you're used to playing the game, I call it, an addict, alcoholic game. That's not what you do. What you do is you let your fists do the talking, right? Or you talk back in a way that escalates the situation. You don't talk back in a way to where you actually identify as a human being to another person. And if someone does put you in pain, understand that they're probably sick and they need help. Some people are sicker than others. That's a very true saying. Everyone's in a different spot in their recovery, and it might not even be someone in recovery that pisses you off. But if you're in treatment, it's probably someone that's trying to attempt recovery. And you got to understand that they're in a different place in their life than you are. And if you get that mentality, then you almost start to feel bad for the individual. It's like, dude, you're so sick right now that you're acting extremely childish. You're acting like a teenager. Like, I'm not angry with you. I actually feel bad for you. And again, remember, if someone said something to you, they're entitled to their opinion, even if it's a negative one. Like, even if I get a negative comment on my videos, that's totally fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But it doesn't have to mean shit to me unless I actually give it value. So you have to ask yourself, Why are you giving someone that much power over you to affect your emotional status? Right? Especially if it's someone that you hardly know. If it's someone that you just met or you know of, like an acquaintance, and they say something disrespectful to you, why would you allow that person to have that power over you to set you off and to hurt your feelings and make you angry? What on earth gives them that power over you? Why on earth would you make that decision to allow them to have that power over you? Because that's what you're doing. This is the No BS Recovery channel, so I'm not going to BS you. That's what you're doing. You're giving someone power over you by putting value into the words that they say, when in all reality it shouldn't have any value to you at all. Like, at this point in my life, it's very rare that you'll see me angry. I'm a very patient person. Now I did a total 180 in recovery. I don't have anger issues anymore. I don't get into fights. I rarely raise my voice. I'm a very calm person, cool, calm, and collected, the 3 C's. That's me. Like, it takes a lot to get under my skin, because I've understood and understand that the only way you're going to get under my skin is if I let you get under my skin. I have power over that. We talked in another video about step 1 in powerlessness. Like, I'm powerless over other people. I can't control what they say to me. I can't control what they do to me, but I can control my reaction to it. And I can control whether or not I'm going to give that person enough power to allow them to upset me. So this actually didn't happen too long ago. I was working with a patient at our facility, and he had anger issues, and I would ask him, why are you letting them affect you? Why do you care so much what these people think about you? You don't even know them. Like, you just met them. You barely know them at all. Why are you giving them that power over you? And he would say, I'm not giving them any power over me. Well, clearly you are. Because right now you're pacing in my office back and forth, wanting to punch something because you're so angry. So clearly you're giving them power over you. Clearly you care what they have to say, or you wouldn't be this upset. Well, no, that's not true. I don't give a shit what anyone has to say about me. I don't care. I don't give a shit what anyone has to say. Well, again, clearly you do. Right now you're full of shit. You obviously care what people have to say about you, and it affects you. Why? Because you're looking for that external validation from everyone. You're a people pleaser. You want to please everyone. You want everyone to like you. And when they don't meet that unrealistic expectation, it pisses you off. And then you start to wonder why. And then you beat yourself up. And then you go down this path of, I'm not good enough. No one should like me. No one should love me. No one should forgive me. I'm not worthy of any of that. Obviously, look at how these people treat me and look at how they talk to me. And then you see the self-manipulation starts, the negative self-manipulation, where we talk ourselves into thinking that we're a piece of shit when in reality we aren't. And we look to then, again, people please. Well, if I can just make them like me, if I can do something to where they like me, then I'll have value. Then I'll have proof that I have value. You don't need any proof that you have value. The proof is internal. The proof is you. The proof is what you do, who you are, how you act, how you behave. That's the proof. Who cares what anyone else has to say? Fuck everyone else. I mean, to be perfectly blunt, fuck everyone else. Who cares what everyone else has to say? At the end of the day, if you can lay your head down on your pillow, and between you and your higher power, you know that you had a good day, you did everything you could in your power to have a good day and to get things done and get things accomplished, that's all that matters. Who cares what anyone else thinks? Who cares what anyone else's opinion is of you? That's what you got. That's the point that you got to get to, and you might not be there right now, and that's okay. because you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So another thing you got to understand is you're exactly where you're supposed to be, right? That's really what it comes down to. And you might have days where you're just frustrated, especially in early recovery, especially in treatment. And you might not even know where this frustration comes from. Well, think about it for a second. Think about what you're doing. You're doing something that is extremely difficult and stressful, and you're putting your body into a state of stress on a daily basis. How do you think your body's going to react to that? Not well. You got to learn how to bring your body and your emotional state back to a state of homeostasis at the end of the day. And what that simply means is bringing everything back to a baseline level before you go to bed. Because if you go to bed in a state of stress, more than likely you might wake up in a state of stress. Your body is then continuously in a state of stress. And not only is that bad for you from an emotional standpoint, a mental standpoint, but it's also bad for you from a physical standpoint. That can lead to high blood pressure. It can lead to heart issues. It can lead to a lot of negative physical side effects. So we got to learn certain practices and tools, per se, that we have to utilize in our lives to bring our bodies and our emotional levels back to that homeostasis level. And that takes practice. It takes time. And it takes, changing the way that you think and changing the way that you perceive situations and the reality around you. And again, that takes time. It takes practice. It's not going to happen overnight, and you have to be okay with that. Remember, acceptance is the answer to all of my problems today. I have to accept the fact that this is an ongoing process. It's not going to happen overnight. I say Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah, no shit. But neither is long-term recovery. It wasn't built in a day. It's not going to be built in a day. It's going to be built in multiple days that you put together one after another, where you continuously work on yourself to better yourself. And then you start to hit milestones. And then you start to create new habits and new neural pathways. So you start to perceive things in a different way. Then you start to actually change into a better version of yourself. And that's what you want to accomplish. That's what you want to get to. You want that internal satisfaction, right? You don't need anything external. Internal validation. You don't need that hot girl or hot guy around your arm to feel good about yourself. You are good enough just as you are on your own. You are worthy, you are valid, you are valued, you are loved, you are forgiven, everything. Even if you don't feel that way, you got to get to the point to where you actually do. And how do you do that? By practice. Positive affirmations. All right? It might sound childish, it might sound stupid, but they work. I got a challenge for you, and then I'll wrap up this video. My challenge for you is this. Get out a pen and paper, and if you have to pause the video, pause the video. So go ahead and pause the video and go grab a pen and a piece of paper. Alright, you back? Good. This is something I ask all of my sponsees to do. It's actually part of their step 4. What I want you to do is I want you to write 50 positive things about yourself, 50 positive attributes about you. That's 50, not 15, 50, 50. 50 positive things about you. Yeah, it's a lot. But the expectation is you're not going to be able to come up with 50 things. And when you fall short of 50, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to ask other people what they see in you that's positive. Because if they see it in you, then it has to be true. Even if you don't think it is. If someone else sees it in you, it has to be true. Because they see that positivity in you, even though you may not see it. So the purpose of this exercise is to, one, acknowledge that you're not a piece of shit, that you do have a lot of positive traits and qualities, and that other people see these positive traits and qualities within you. And once you get to 50, You're going to put that up somewhere for you to see on a daily basis to remind yourself of all the positive things about you. And I swear to you, that's literally part of my step 4. And you're not done with step 4 until you get to 50. There's a reason for everything that I do. There's a reason for every assignment that I give. And I guarantee you, if you do this, one, it makes you feel real good about yourself first and foremost, because you actually get to recognize that you're not this piece of shit. And two, it makes you feel real good because you get to hear other people say positive things about you. Like I said, if they say them, if they see them, then it has to be true. Okay? So that is my challenge for you. Show me your willingness. Show me that you want this bad enough. You really want recovery? Do you really want recovery? You want long-term recovery, or are you just fucking bullshitting? If you really want it, then you took the time to go grab a pen and paper. I mean, how much effort does that take to grab a pen and paper? All right, if you did that, and you're actually serious about this assignment, and you're going to complete this assignment, that shows me that you've got what it takes for long-term recovery. Because if you can't do the harder stuff, you're not going to be able to stick around. Something will take you out. Yeah, it's not an easy assignment. Yeah, it could be uncomfortable to go to someone and say, hey, can you tell me some positive attributes or qualities that you see in me? But don't blame it on me. Say, I was listening to this dumb motherfucker on YouTube, and this idiot tells me to go grab a pen and paper and go ask people what positive things they see in me. What kind of shit is that, right? But by the way, what do you see in me that's positive? I don't care. Blame me. Blame your sponsor. Blame whoever you want. Or just take responsibility for it. I'm doing an assignment. All right? It's something that I'm doing to work on myself and better myself. So, can you tell me any positive attributes or qualities or traits that you see within me? Because I got to make a list of 50, and I'm falling short. I got to, 32 on my own, but I need some help with the last, 18. So let's see. There's your challenge. How bad do you really want this? Are you going to complete this assignment? Or are you going to close this video down and not do a damn thing? Most of you are going to close this video down and not do a damn thing. Let's be real. All right, let's not bullshit each other. Most of you aren't going to do shit with this. You hear it, but you're not going to do anything about it. And those of you who aren't going to do anything about it, good luck to you. I wish you the best. I wish you well. But if you can't do a simple assignment like this, that, yeah, it's somewhat awkward and uncomfortable, but that's the fucking point, is to get uncomfortable so you can grow. If you're not willing to do an assignment like this, what are you willing to do? Especially an assignment that's meant to make you feel good about yourself. I mean, this isn't something, I'm not asking you to do something negative and list all the shit that you've done wrong. I'm actually asking you to do something positive about yourself. Maybe that's harder for you. Maybe it's harder for you to list the positive versus the negative. I've met people like that. It wouldn't surprise me, let's put it that way, if this was difficult for you to do. And if it is difficult for you to do, good. Get the fuck out of your comfort zone and start fucking growing. All right? This is the No Bullshit Recovery channel, so let's cut the shit. Let's tell it like it is. All right? If you're not willing to do the work, you're not going to make it. I'm going to tell you that straight up. All right? I'll fucking look in the camera and tell you. You're not going to make it if you're not willing to do the work. That's what it comes down to. If you don't have the willingness to do the assignments, to follow suggestion, you're not going to make it. You're wasting your time. And what a pity and shame that would be. Because you are fully capable of making it. There's nothing differentiating you from me. There's no reason why, no special ingredient, no physical trait or mental or emotional trait that I was born with or gifted that I have that makes me better than you. That's just Just how bad do you fucking want it? You willing to do the assignment or not? All right. We'll see. Okay. All right. Let me know if there's anything that you guys want to see in videos moving forward. Let me know if there's any topics that you want me to cover. If you are in need of suggestion, or you have a question, or you would like my advice, more than happy to give it. Take it with a grain of salt, run it by someone else, get additional perspectives. You know, I everything that I say comes from experience, and it comes from not just my own personal experience, but other people's experience that I've witnessed. So, you know, everything that I say, it has meaning behind it. You know, it's not just bullshit. You know, I'm not quoting a textbook or some shit. I'm actually telling you real life situations that I've lived through, or that someone else that I've worked with has lived through. And like I said before in another video, I'll never ask you to do something that I haven't done myself. So yeah, I've done the 50 fucking positive quality list. I've done it. Okay. All that being said, and I don't mean to sound harsh, I just mean to sound fucking realistic. That's what it comes down to. Because if you can't put together a list, how can you do something as incredibly hard as staying in recovery for multiple years? You think that's easy? If it was easy, everyone would fucking do it, right? There wouldn't be any treatment centers. There would be no need for YouTube channels like this. There would be no need for yourrecoverymentor.com. There would be no need for therapists or anything of that nature. It's not easy, it's hard. But you get to the place of putting together years when you're willing to do the little things and the somewhat bigger things, like getting out of your comfort zone and listing 50 positive things about yourself. And all the other shit that I've told you in all the other videos. If you really want to make it, you got to do the work. It's not going to happen for you. Nobody's going to recover for you. You got to do it yourself. That's what it comes down to. And if you're not willing to do it, it ain't going to happen. Stop fucking shitting yourself. Stop believing that fake it till you make it bullshit. No. Stop faking it and just fucking do it. Actually put in the work, put in the action, and do it. That's what it comes down to. Alright. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm going to end it there. On a positive note, nobody told you they loved you today. I want you to know I love you. I got love for you. I mean that when I say that. I'm not just bullshitting you. I care about each and every one of you that tune in and watch these videos. And I care about, you know, those who subscribe even more. Just kidding. Not really. Guys, really, to be real with you, this is on you. At the end of the day, it's on you. I can make 100 fucking videos. I can share with you that, you know, all the information that I've gathered over the last 8 years. Not just what I've learned, but what I've learned through other people and what other people have taught me as well. But if you're not willing to do the work, it's never going to happen. You're never going to achieve long-term recovery. But, that being said, if you are willing to do the work, if you are willing to get a little uncomfortable, if you are willing to listen to suggestion and follow suggestion, then you can make it. Then you can be successful. It's all about your mindset. It's all about, again, how bad do you want it? If you want it bad enough to do everything that is necessary, then you will achieve lasting recovery. But if you don't, then you won't. Alright? Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Continue to persevere. Dedicate yourself to this craft and don't give up. keep pushing, keep driving, and never settle. Always strive for more. That's all I got for you guys today. It's a 30 fucking minute video. I kind of went off on a tangent there for a little bit, but sometimes, I got to express how I really feel about certain situations, and sometimes some people need to hear that. So that's what I got for you guys today. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, peace out.